Welcome back to another deep dive. So this time, we're going to be looking at the melody of leadership, 10 commandments entwined in a love story.
Ooh, okay.
This is by Dr. S.M.A. Moyne.
Sounds interesting.
It is. And so this deep dive is going to be focusing on Chapter 3.
Okay.
Chapter 3 is called Leaders as Visionaries.
I like it.
And we're going to be talking about this chapter.
Yeah.
And how it kind of plays out in the book as a whole.
Right.
So this whole chapter takes place on day 2 of a leadership boot camp.
Oh, wow.
And the boot camp is in Bangladesh.
Okay.
And so right away in the opening scene of this chapter,
Yeah.
we have the protagonist, Kevin Cruz, waking up, and he's got a warm bottle of tea waiting for him in his room,
Oh.
and he can't remember if he ordered it.
I see.
And this is kind of like a funny little thing because he's like, wait a minute,
Right.
did someone like sneak into my room?
He's wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone's messing with him. And it's funny because it kind of plays into the whole idea of vision being able to see things that other people don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good way to start off the chapter.
Yeah, it is. So why is vision so important?
Well, I think a lot of it comes back to that idea we were talking about in the last chapter with the arte.
Yeah.
The character and competence. So we're more likely to trust someone who knows what they're doing.
Right.
And also cares about us.
Yeah. Like you were saying before, it's like the ship captain.
Exactly.
You want to make sure that the captain knows how to drive the ship.
Right. You want to know that they know where they're going.
Yeah.
They have a plan.
Exactly.
And that they're, looking out for their crew.
Yeah.
That they're not just, going to sail everyone off a cliff.
Yeah, but they care.
Exactly. And so that vision gives everyone a shared sense of purpose.
Right.
And that motivates people to act and work together.
Okay. So how do they, I guess, explain this idea of vision?
Well, they use this really nice imagery from a poem called The Torchbearer Calling.
Okay.
And it's by Duarte and Sanchez.
Okay.
And it basically talks about the leader illuminating the path for others.
Yeah.
Guiding them through the uncertainty.
I like that.
It's a powerful image.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, okay, so we have a vision. We're all on board.
Right.
How do we actually get this thing moving?
Well, to create a meaningful vision, they talk about Simon Sinek.
Okay.
And he has these 3 tests that he uses to make sure that the vision is something that's really going to work.
Oh, cool. So what are those tests?
So the first one is a resilience.
Okay, so the vision can weather any storm.
Exactly. Like if you think about your own goals, how do you stay committed
Right.
when things get tough?
Right.
A good vision does the same thing for an organization.
Yeah, so it has to be able to adapt.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it has to stay true to that core purpose.
Okay, so what about this second test?
So the second one is inclusivity.
Okay.
So it has to be something that includes everyone.
So everyone feels like they're a part of it.
Exactly, because if you only have a few people that understand what's going on,
Right.
then the rest of the people aren't really going to be motivated.
That makes sense.
So everyone needs to be on the same page.
Okay, so inclusivity and resilience.
Yep. And the last one is service orientation.
Okay.
And that just means that the vision should be about something bigger than just the leader themselves.
Right.
It has to serve some greater good.
So it's not just about the leader.
No.
It's about everybody.
It's about the team, the organization, maybe even society as a whole.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then what comes after that?
So after that, Dr. Moyne talks about 2 types of visionary leaders.
Okay, what are those 2 types?
So he uses the work of Collins and Porras, and he talks about charismatic leaders and built-to-last leaders.
Okay, and what's the difference between those 2?
Well, the charismatic leader is kind of like a blazing comet, They're really inspiring.
Okay.
And they can really drive a lot of growth really fast. Like, you think about Steve Jobs in the early days of Apple.
Right.
His vision was almost the same as the company itself.
Yeah.
But then you have the built-to-last leaders, and they're more like architects.
Oh.
They create systems and a culture and a legacy that can last even after they're gone.
So they're thinking more about the future.
Exactly. And actually, when Steve Jobs came back to Apple,
Oh, wait.
he really changed his focus from leading the company to building the company.
Okay. So he wanted to build something that would last longer than him.
Right. And that really helped transform Apple into what it is today.
Wow. So it really is about embedding the vision in the DNA of the company.
Exactly.
Okay. So what comes next?
Well, this whole chapter wraps up with this really powerful statement about good and bad leaders.
Oh, okay. So what's the big difference there?
Well, good leaders, they envision a future that includes everybody.
Right.
But bad leaders are only focused on what they want.
Okay. So it's about motivation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So that's a lot about visionary leadership. But how does this fit into the book as a whole?
Well, it's interesting because Dr. Moyne, he kind of weaves all these leadership principles into a love story.
Really?
Yeah, it's not just like a dry textbook. It's a story that kind of pulls you in and it makes you think about leadership in a whole new way.
Oh, wow. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the story.
So the story follows Kevin Cruz.
The Navy commander.
Yeah, that's him. And then there's Caroline Cambridge.
Okay.
And she's trying to, be a fashion entrepreneur and a model.
Wow. Okay, so they come from totally different worlds.
Yeah, and their paths collide at this boot camp in Bangladesh.
That's so cool. And then where does the story go from there?
So from Bangladesh, they end up in London.
Wow. What happens in London?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued now.
Yeah.
So they're in Bangladesh for the boot camp.
Right.
Then they end up in London.
Yep, and their backgrounds couldn't be more different.
Yeah, that's what you were saying before. Like, he's military and she's in fashion.
Exactly.
Totally opposite.
Right, and it creates some interesting dynamics.
Yeah, I can imagine.
As they try to navigate their relationship.
And all of the leadership stuff, too.
Oh, yeah, they're constantly applying these principles, challenging each other.
Right.
And growing both as individuals and as a couple.
Wow. I bet there's some really great clashes and collaborations going on.
There are. And to make things even more interesting, there's an antagonist.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Frank Sanchez, he's the CEO of a fashion agency.
Okay.
And he throws some curveballs their way.
So he's testing them.
Absolutely. He tests their leadership skills.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of drama to the mix.
A little drama, never hurt anyone.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes Dr. Moyne's book so unique. It's not just a typical leadership book.
Right.
He brings in philosophy, neuroscience, branding, even storytelling.
That's a lot.
It is, but it all ties together really well.
Okay, so it's not just about what leaders do.
Yeah. No.
It's about how they think.
Exactly.
Great.
I like that.
Yeah, and the stories they tell.
Right. And how does he tie all that in?
Well, like, for example, we were talking about Arate before.
Yeah, the character and competence.
Right. So he takes that idea and he goes even deeper.
Oh.
And he shows how it relates to a leader's ability to inspire people.
Okay.
To motivate people, to get them to buy into their vision.
Wow. So he really goes beyond just the basics.
He does, and that's what makes the book so interesting.
Yeah. I can see that. So what else is there?
Well, he also talks about how leadership is a journey.
Right.
It's not just a destination.
Okay.
It's about constantly learning and growing and adapting.
So are Kevin and Caroline doing that in the book?
They are. They're constantly facing new challenges.
Right.
Making mistakes.
Yeah.
Learning from those mistakes.
Yeah.
And coming out stronger on the other side.
So it's like watching them evolve as leaders.
Exactly. And as people, too.
Okay. So it sounds like this book really offers a unique perspective on leadership. It does, and it's really engaging.
Okay, so what's the title again?
It's called The Melody of Leadership, 10 Commandments Entwined in a Love Story.
Wow. Okay, The Melody of Leadership. I love that title.
It really captures the essence of the book. Leadership is about more than just giving orders.
Right.
It's about creating harmony, inspiring others, and orchestrating that shared vision.
I like that so much.
And this book really does that.
Yeah, I can see that. So is there anything else you want to add about the book?
Well, I think it's really cool how Dr. Moyne balances like the personal growth with the leadership development.
Right. Like you were saying before, it's not just about leadership.
No, it's about becoming a better person overall.
Right. And that's something we can all relate to.
Exactly. And, it's not a dry read either.
Yeah.
It's really captivating.
Okay. So you've definitely piqued my interest.
Good.
So tell me a little bit more about how storytelling plays a role in all of this.
Well, if you think about all the really great leaders throughout history, they weren't just brilliant strategists.
Right.
They were also really good storytellers.
Like they could connect with people.
Exactly. They knew how to inspire people with their words.
So the story becomes a way to share their vision.
Exactly. And Dr. Moyne really emphasizes that in the book.
Okay. And how does that play out in this particular chapter?
Well, this chapter introduces all the main characters.
Right.
And it kind of sets the stage for the rest of the story.
Yeah.
And it really highlights the importance of vision.
And self-reflection too, right?
Absolutely, because in the boot camp, Kevin is more interested in how the trainees are learning from their mistakes than how well they're actually performing.
So he's focusing on the process, not the outcome.
Right, because he understands that real growth comes from analyzing your actions and understanding why you did what you did.
And then you can apply that to the next time.
Exactly, and I think that's something we often overlook.
How so?
Well, we tend to focus so much on the outcome.
Yeah, we want results.
Right. But we forget to really analyze the process and the decisions that led us to that outcome.
Like we're so busy chasing the destination that we forget to enjoy the journey.
Exactly. And I think that's where we miss out on a lot of learning opportunities.
Right. Because we don't take the time to reflect.
Exactly. And that's why I think this chapter is so important.
Yeah.
Because it sets the stage for this idea of continuous learning and growth.
Right.
Which is essential for any leader.
And that's something we can all benefit from.
Absolutely. Whether you're a CEO or a student or just someone trying to improve their life.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not about being perfect.
Yep.
It's about acknowledging our mistakes.
Yep.
And learning from them.
Exactly. And I think that takes a lot of humility.
Yeah, it does.
But it's so important.
It is. And I think it builds trust.
Oh, definitely.
Like if you're a leader and you're willing to admit that you don't know everything.
Right.
It makes you more relatable.
And it shows that you're committed to learning and growing along with your team.
Right. Like you're all in this together.
Exactly.
I like
it creates a more collaborative environment.
Yeah.
Where everyone feels like they can contribute.
That's what we want.
That's what we need.
Exactly. So we've talked a lot about the vision.
We have.
And the different types of leaders.
Right.
And the importance of self-reflection.
Yep.
But what about the antagonist?
Oh, yeah, Frank Tsai.
Yeah, Frank Sunchise.
What about him?
What kind of role does he play in all of this?
Well, he's basically there to create conflict.
Okay.
You know, to challenge Kevin and Caroline.
Right.
To push them outside of their comfort zones.
Right. And to make them really think about their leadership styles.
Exactly. And I think that's important because it shows that leadership isn't always easy.
Right. It's not a fairy tale.
No, it's not.
There are going to be obstacles.
Absolutely.
And challenges.
Yep. And how you overcome those challenges. Right. That's what defines you as a leader.
So Frank is kind of like a test.
You could say that.
Okay, so he's not just there to be mean.
No, he has a purpose.
Okay.
He represents those real-world challenges that leaders have to face.
Okay, so he's kind of like the villain, but not really?
Right, he's more like a catalyst for growth.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this book is really multifaceted.
It is.
And it covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, it goes beyond what you'd typically expect from a leadership book. It's not just theory.
It's practical.
Exactly. It offers real-world insights that you can actually apply.
And it's all wrapped up in this engaging love story.
Exactly.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about this love story.
Well, like I said before, Kevin and Caroline, they come from totally different worlds.
Right.
But they're drawn to each other.
Okay.
And their relationship unfolds against the backdrop of all these leadership lessons.
So they're learning and growing together.
Exactly. And it's not always easy.
I can imagine.
They have their ups and downs.
Right.
But they learn to support each other, to challenge each other.
Right.
And to grow both as individuals and as a couple.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful story.
And it's set in these amazing locations.
Oh, yeah, Bangladesh and London.
Wow, that's so cool.
It adds a whole other layer to the story.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it really shows how leadership is a global phenomenon.
Okay.
It's not limited to any one culture or country.
I love that.
Yeah, it's something that transcends borders.
So is there anything else you want to add about the book?
Well, I think it's important to mention that the book has received a lot of praise.
Oh, yeah?
From other thought leaders in the field.
Like who?
Well, for example, Yasmin Ibrahim.
Okay.
The author of Post-Human Capitalism.
Okay, I've heard of that book.
Yeah, so she called Dr. Moyne's book a unique blend of leadership principles with real-world applications.
Wow, that's high praise.
It is. And she also said that it unravels the mysteries of leadership while grounding it in reality.
So it's both insightful and practical.
Exactly.
Well, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I think it's a book that everyone should read.
Okay, so it's not just for leaders.
No, it's for anyone who wants to improve their life.
I like that.
And to make a positive impact on the world.
Okay, so we've talked about the book. We've talked about the chapter.
We have.
But I want to circle back to something you said earlier.
Oh, okay. What's that?
About self-reflection.
Yeah.
So how does that play into this chapter?
Well, like I said before, Kevin, he's more focused on how the trainees are learning from their mistakes than how well they're actually performing.
So he's trying to teach them to be more self-aware.
Exactly.
Okay, and why is that so important?
Well, because it's only through self-awareness that we can truly grow.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, when we become aware of our own thoughts and feelings and behaviors, we can start to understand why we do the things we do.
Okay.
And then we can make conscious choices about how we want to change.
So it's about taking control.
Exactly. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
I like that.
And I think that's really what leadership is all about.
Okay.
It's about inspiring others to be their best selves.
And it starts with leading by example.
Right.
Okay, so how can we apply this idea of self-reflection to our own lives?
Well, I think the first step is to just start paying attention.
To what?
To your thoughts, to your feelings, to your behaviors.
Okay.
Just notice what's going on inside of you.
Okay, and then what?
And then ask yourself why.
Why am I thinking this?
Right, why am I feeling this? Why am I doing this?
Okay, and that can be hard.
It can be, but it's so worth it.
Okay, and what happens when we start asking ourselves why?
Well, we start to uncover our own patterns. Absolutely, it's essential because it allows us to understand ourselves and to become more effective leaders.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool.
It is, and I think we all have the capacity for self-reflection.
We do.
It's just a matter of making it a priority.
Exactly, and I think this chapter does a really good job of highlighting that.
Yeah, it does.
And it shows how self-reflection can lead to some really amazing breakthroughs.
Okay, so what kind of breakthroughs are we talking about?
Well, for example, in the book, Kevin helps one of the trainees overcome her fear of public speaking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a really powerful scene.
Okay, so how does he do it?
Well, he basically helps her to understand why she's so afraid.
Okay.
And to see that her fear is actually holding her back.
Right.
From achieving her full potential.
Okay.
And once she realizes that,
yeah,
she's able to overcome her fear.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is, and it shows how self-reflection can really transform our lives.
Okay, what about Caroline?
Well, Caroline, she's struggling with her own self-doubt. Huh? And Kevin helps her to see that she's actually much stronger than she thinks she is.
Wow. So they're both going through their own journeys of self-discovery.
Exactly, and they're supporting each other along the way.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing to see.
So it sounds like this book is not just about leadership.
No.
It's about personal growth.
It's about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about life.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So where can people find this book?
Well, it's available on Amazon.
Okay, we'll be sure to include a link in the show notes.
Perfect.
And is there anything else you want to add before we move on?
Well, I just want to say that I think this chapter is a really great introduction to the themes of the book.
Okay.
It sets the stage for a really powerful exploration of leadership.
And personal growth.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading the rest of the book.
You too.
And to seeing how Kevin and Caroline's story unfolds.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting journey.
I bet it is. So I guess we'll leave it there for now.
Okay. Sounds good.
But we'll be back soon.
Yep.
To continue our deep dive into the melody of leadership.
I can't wait.
So until next time.
See ya.
Keep learning.
Keep growing.
And keep leading.
Bye.
Okay, so we left off talking about how this whole book is kind of like a love story.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what's going on with Kevin and Caroline?
Well, their relationship is really interwoven with the whole, 10 commandments of leadership that Dr. Moyne is talking about in the book.
Okay, so we're not just getting the theory.
Yeah.
We're actually seeing how it plays out.
Right, like in a real-world kind of situation.
With real people.
Exactly, and they're constantly, applying these principles, and they challenge each other.
Right, because they come from such different backgrounds.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so interesting. You get to see how these different perspectives clash.
And then they have to figure out how to make it work.
Right, and they're both growing as individuals.
And as a couple. That's really cool. So are there any other key moments in the story that you want to highlight?
Well, there's one scene where Kevin is talking about the importance of empathy.
Okay.
And he actually asks the trainees to imagine themselves in someone else's shoes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's a really powerful exercise because it forces them to step outside of their own perspective.
Right.
And to see the world through someone else's eyes.
And that's essential for leadership, right?
Absolutely, because if you can't understand where other people are coming from, then you're never going to be able to truly connect with them.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this book is really about more than just leadership.
It's about human connection.
Oh,
it's about understanding each other.
And it's about building relationships.
Exactly. And I think that's something that we all need more of these days.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
So, what about this Frank guy?
Ah, Frank. Yeah, he's a piece of work.
So is he like a typical villain?
Well, he definitely creates some problems for Kevin and Caroline. Oh. But I think he also serves a purpose.
Oh, how so?
Well, he represents the challenges that we all face in life. Yeah. Those people who try to bring us down or who make things difficult.
Right.
And I think it's important to learn how to deal with those people.
Because you're going to encounter them no matter what.
Exactly. So Frank is kind of like a training ground.
Okay.
He forces Kevin and Caroline to put their leadership skills to the test.
And to see if they can really handle the pressure.
Right, and they don't always succeed.
Oh, really?
No, they make mistakes. But that's how they learn.
Right.
They pick themselves up, they dust themselves off, and they come back stronger.
So it's like a real journey.
It is.
With all its ups and downs.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes the book so relatable.
Right, because life isn't perfect.
No, it's not.
And leadership isn't perfect either.
Definitely not.
But it's about striving to be better.
And to never give up.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the characters, we've talked about the story, but what about the setting? Like, how does that play a role?
Oh, the setting is amazing.
Tell me about it.
Well, it starts in Bangladesh.
Right, you said that before.
Yeah, and it's like this really beautiful, serene place. You know, it's on the coast.
Oh, wow.
And there's like this sense of peace and tranquility.
Good.
And then it shifts to London, which is like this bustling metropolis.
Yeah.
It's full of energy and excitement.
Yeah.
And I think the contrast between those two settings really adds to the story.
Okay. How?
So it shows how leadership can be effective in any environment, whether you're in a calm setting or a chaotic one.
So it's about adapting to your surroundings.
Exactly.
And using your leadership skills to navigate whatever challenges come your way.
Right. And I think that's a really valuable lesson.
It is, especially in today's world.
Where everything is constantly changing.
Yeah, we have to be adaptable.
We do, if we want to succeed.
Okay, so it sounds like this book is really well-rounded.
It is.
It covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, it's not just about one thing.
Right, it's about leadership.
Yeah.
It's about personal growth. It's about relationships.
It's about life.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the book.
We have.
But I want to go back to the chapter for a minute.
Okay.
So we were talking about Kevin and how he's more interested in how the trainees are learning from their mistakes than how well they're actually performing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to hear more about that. Like, why is that so important?
Well, I think it goes back to this idea of self-awareness.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if we're not aware of our own mistakes, then we're never going to be able to learn from them.
Right. It's like we're just going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
Exactly. And that's not going to help us grow as leaders.
So Kevin is trying to teach the trainees to be more reflective.
Exactly.
And to really analyze their actions.
Yeah. And to understand why they did what they did.
And that can be hard.
It can be, but it's so important.
Okay. And so what are some of the benefits of self-reflection?
Well, for one thing, it helps us to identify our strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
So we can focus on developing our strengths, working on our weaknesses.
Okay.
It also helps us to become more aware of our own biases.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because we all have biases.
We do.
But we're not always aware of them.
Right.
And those biases can affect our decision-making.
Yeah, they can definitely cloud our judgment.
Exactly. So self-reflection helps us to become more objective.
Okay.
And to make better decisions.
So it's not just about identifying our mistakes.
No.
It's about understanding ourselves better.
Exactly. And that's a lifelong journey.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's something that we should all be striving for.
I agree with you there.
Right.
So how can we incorporate more self-reflection into our own lives?
Well, there are a lot of different ways.
Okay.
You know, you could start by keeping a journal.
Okay.
Or by meditating. Or by simply taking some time each day to reflect on your experiences.
Okay, and what should we be reflecting on?
Well, you could ask yourself questions like, what went well today?
Yeah.
What could I have done better?
Hmm.
What did I learn today?
Right.
And how can I apply what I learned to tomorrow?
Those are really good questions.
Yeah, and I think the key is to be honest with yourself.
Right. Don't sugarcoat it.
Exactly. Be real with yourself.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to ask for feedback from others.
So that's a good point.
Yeah, because sometimes other people can see things that we can't.
Right. They can give us a different perspective.
Exactly. And that can be really valuable.
Okay, so it sounds like self-reflection is a really powerful tool.
It is.
And it's something that we should all be using.
If we want to grow as leaders.
And as people.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
And I'm really excited to continue our deep dive into the melody of leadership.
Me too.
So until next time.
Yeah.
Keep learning.
Keep growing.
And keep leading. Okay, so we've talked about the characters and the story.
Right.
And the setting.
Yep.
And we've touched on some of the leadership principles.
We have.
But I want to go a little bit deeper into, like, what makes this book so unique? Like, what sets it apart from other leadership books?
Well, I think one of the things that makes it so unique is that it's not just about leadership.
Right.
It's also about personal growth.
Yeah.
It's about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about finding your purpose.
So it's really about life.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It's about becoming a better person overall.
And I think that's something we can all relate to.
Definitely.
Because we're all on this journey of self-discovery.
Right.
And we're all trying to figure out, like, who we are.
And what we're meant to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this book offers a really great framework for thinking about those things.
For thinking about how to live a more meaningful life.
And I think that's what makes it so powerful.
Absolutely.
Because it's not just about, like, climbing the corporate ladder or achieving success in the traditional sense.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
Exactly. And I think that's a message that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so we've talked about what makes the book unique.
Yeah.
But I want to circle back to the chapter that we're focusing on.
Okay.
Which is leaders as visionaries.
Right.
So what are some of the key takeaways from this chapter?
Well, I think one of the most important takeaways is that vision is essential for leadership.
Okay.
Because if you don't have a clear vision of where you're going,
yeah,
then you're never going to get there.
Right. It's like you're just wandering around aimlessly.
Exactly. And that's not going to inspire anyone.
No.
So you need to have a vision.
And you need to be able to articulate that vision.
Yes. And you need to be able to get other people excited about it.
Right. So it's not just about having a vision in your head.
Nope.
It's about being able to communicate it.
To share it with others.
And to get them on board.
Exactly. And that's what this chapter is all about.
Okay. And what else?
Well, another key takeaway is that there are different types of visionary leaders.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about that before.
Right. So there are the charismatic leaders who are really good at inspiring people.
Right.
And then there are the built-to-last leaders.
Who are more focused on creating systems and processes.
Exactly. And both types of leaders are important.
Okay.
Because they bring different strengths to the table.
And it's about finding the right balance.
Right. Finding the right type of leadership for the situation.
So it's not like one is better than the other.
No, it depends on the context.
And I think that's something that's often overlooked.
Yeah, people tend to think that there's only one way to be a good leader.
But that's not true.
Not at all. There are many different ways to be a good leader.
And it's about finding what works best for you.
And for your team.
Exactly. And I think this book does a really good job of exploring that.
Yeah, it offers a really nuanced perspective on leadership.
And it doesn't shy away from the complexity.
No, it embraces them.
Okay, so we've talked about vision and the different types of leaders.
Yep.
But there's one more thing I want to touch on.
What's that?
And that's self-reflection.
Oh, yeah.
So why is self-reflection so important for leadership?
Well, because if you're not self-aware,
right,
you're not going to be able to lead effectively.
And how does this play out in the chapter?
Well, Kevin is constantly encouraging the trainees to reflect on their experiences.
Okay.
To think about what they're learning.
Yeah.
And to identify their strengths and weaknesses.
So it's about taking the time to step back and analyze.
Exactly. And to be honest with yourself.
And that can be hard.
It can be.
But it's so important.
It is, because it allows us to grow.
Right.
To learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, and to become better leaders.
And better people.
Exactly. Okay. So I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
And I'm really glad we had the chance to deep dive into the melody of leadership.
Me too. It's a great book.
And I think it has a lot to offer anyone who's interested in leadership.
Or personal growth.
Or just becoming a better person.
Absolutely.
Okay, so listeners, if you're intrigued by what you've heard today, be sure to check out The Melody of Leadership, 10 Commandments Entwined in a Love Story.
By Dr. S.M.A. Moyne.
It's available on Amazon.
And we'll put a link in the show notes.
Perfect. And until next time.
See ya.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading.
Bye.